Okay, so today I brought my Black Templars. First of all, we're going to start out with, if you come right over here, we have a squad with initiates. There's 5 initiates and 5 neophytes here. They're going to stay back and hold this objective right here. Then I have another squad right next to it. It's a 6-man initiate squad, all armed with bolt pistols and close combat weapons. They're mounted in this Rhino.
Does the guy on top mean anything, or just representing the squad's in there?
Representing the squad in there.
Tracking, okay.
Okay, then we have my HQ here. This was actually painted by Jay for me.
Many years ago. Let me see if I can get...
It's a Marshal with a power sword and a Stormbolter and Terminator armor. Then we have a 5-man Terminator squad here with Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields. And last but not least, we have a squad of Land Speeder Typhoons, yeah. And that's it for the Templars.
Yeah. And might I add another piece of very underrated equipment here, these Typhoon Land Speeder. They're quite nasty.
Okay, this is Jay. He's playing Space Wolves today, and
so me and my buddy John, it was one of my last days in town here. We thought we'd get together for a little 750-ish point game, and basically I put together elements of obviously troops in HQ and heavy support, with a little bit of permission from John to use one of my Wolf Guard, squad leaders. For some reason I have a minimum of 3 in the squad, but it's okay, man. I got a full Long Fang squad here in the front. I got 2 missile launchers, 2 heavy bolters, 1 las cannon, and their pack leader. Behind them is my recently completed and painting Blood Claws. Pretty proud of these guys. Spent like 6 months on them. They're packing a flamer and power weapon with, as I said before, a Wolf Guard pack leader. He's sporting a lightning claw with a combi flamer that I converted myself. Pretty proud of that piece, and he's got a little...
See the model.
Yeah. Let me know when it's good.
Okay.
So, you notice I made use of the little fantastic Games Workshop little basing scenery kit there, and painted up a fallen Emperor's Champion model, or Emperor's Children model. So that's what they get for being dirty chaos bastards. Everything in this squad, much like the rest of the army once it's finished, will be 100% hand painted. There's no decals or cheats here. I've been painting for 15 years plus change, and I've gotten better and better at it. Anyway, yeah, these are my guys.
On to the next squad.
On to the next. We got leading the charge is our Wolf Priest. He goes by the name of Rannick, Elder Wolf Priest Rannick. For those of you that don't know, this model is very hard to come by because it was a special edition model for Games Day some years ago. I have quite a number of them. Like I was saying in another shot before, I'm a big fan of quality models, and this, I feel, was one of them. My only gripe with it is the little skull headdress thing. Wasn't too keen on it, but it grows on you. But he'll be painted up to fine standard when he's next on the chopping block. Next I got these guys in all black, with the exception of this one. These are my gray hunters. They're all going to be this kind of darker gray color. He's our standard bearer for the gray hunters, and they're basically everybody came to play and wreck stuff up.
What kind of equipment do they have?
The squad itself has the Wolf standard, as we pointed out, power weapon here, and a melted gun. And I also, like I was telling my friend John here just a little bit ago, this piece right here is a fine representation for a little flavor for the Army. Figured I'd take an old Wolf Guard model and throw him in with Grey Hunters. He's just a regular run-of-the-mill Grey Hunter by rule standard, but having that kind of special model in there kind of, I feel, gives the Army a little flavor. And then we move on to the Whirlwind. For the most part, frowned upon by most Space Marine players. I feel, on the other hand, that it's a fine piece of equipment for the points cost. Hopefully you'll get to see why in later turns, but I really think it's an underrated piece of Space Marine armor. It's done me very well in the past, not that particular one, but the Whirlwind itself. It's done me pretty well in the past, especially against Dark Eldar, Brian. I'm not going to name any names. It's powerful enough to wipe out a squad, but I mean, because it doesn't really have too much heavy tank killing capability, a lot of people just think of it as a worthless piece of garbage. But basically, it's 100 points or so worth of taking chunks out of your army one big block at a time, so I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay, and that is the Space Wolves Army, 756 points.
Roughly, right around there, yeah.
Okay, Black Templars deployment zone. We got that squad holding an objective right there. We're going to roll for mysterious objectives here in a bit. That squad right there is embarked in the Rhino. Got the Terminators holding the center. Marshall hiding behind the land speeders there.
He's hiding.
The land speeders there. Space Wolves deployment. We got the Whirlwind sitting right there behind this cover. We got the Grey Hunter squad right there. Holding the center is the Wolf Priest.
Oh.
And then we have those guys over there, the Long Fangs, and then these are Grey Hunters.
No, those are Blood Claws.
And then the Blood Claws.
Another piece that I feel, another troop choice that I feel is highly underestimated is the Blood Claws. I've seen so many games where gamers just love to favor the Grey Hunters over the Blood Claws. Yeah, they kind of suck leadership, or not leadership, but weapon skill, ballistic skill wise, but they can pretty much be your mobile freaking chop and slice and dice machine, just as well as the Grey Hunters, but they get their one extra attack. One of the downfalls is that they have the lower weapon and ballistic skill a lot of people don't like. But like I said, I've been into this for many years, and these guys are part of my heart, as it were.
Well, that's the deployment zones. On to turn one. Okay, this was turn one. We have the Black Templars. This squad stayed put, holding that objective. We had the Terminators and the Marshal there run forward. We had the Rhino move forward. We had the land speeders there. They fired and ended up killing two of the Long Fangs on the other side. But then the Whirlwind fired back, ended up immobilizing this one and taking one whole point off of this one. On the Space Wolf side, he moved the Whirlwind away from that sabotaged objective, so that way it didn't blow up and hurt him. They just moved forward. They moved forward.
That'll be the Blood Claws move forward.
And then the Long Fangs moved up onto the rock into cover there. That was the end of turn one. Okay, end of turn two. Templars, these guys stayed back, still holding on to the objective. They haven't done anything this entire game. Whirlwind ended up blowing up both my land speeders there. Got the Marshal and the Terminators moving up to try and get to within sight range. Got the one Initiate squad and the Rhino sitting over there hiding behind cover. Then we got this squad sitting there ready to take them out. Land Speeder's good.
Land Speeder, that's a
Whirlwind's good.
Sitting pretty, being the MVP of the game.
Then we have the Long Flangs there that lost 2 already, and the Blood Claws have lost 1. That's it, then to turn. Okay, at the end of turn 3, This squad still holding the objective. They moved around to the side of this terrain right here. Then the Terminators started to move up, and as you can see, there's much fewer of them there. 3 of them were taken out, and it was pretty much mostly by bolt pistols instead of the heavy weapons from the Long Fang squad, which I would have thought.
Well, you had one that fell to the Whirlwind. The Long Fang squad put some pressure on, but they shook it off like it was nothing. And then I think the Storm Bolter from the Whirlwind took one, and the Blood Claws took the remainder.
Took another one.
Yeah.
Then we have this squad disembarked from the Rhino. That squad just moved forward, the Grey Hunters. The Blood Claws moved forward, moved around the terrain, and the Long Fangs shot, but pretty much didn't do anything. That's the end of turn 3.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to be calling this one short because due to unsafe eating environments at the Panda Express locally around here, my opponent's no longer able to continue. So we're just going to give you the play-by-play of what's been happening so far. His Templar squad moved away from, well, to a better advantage point near the objective so they could fire missiles and stuff. Took out a couple of my a couple of my Long Fangs. As you well know by now, the land speeders got demolished by the Whirlwind. Rhino unleashed freaking Black Templar Fury into my Blood Claw squad, also being double teamed by the Black Templar Sword Brethren and Terminator armor. That's always good times. Let's get down a little bit lower. Long Fang's been holding out. John is, like I said, not feeling too well, and we're basically gonna call this a wolfen victory, but not without its key losses. Believe me, the squad lost their Blood Claw power weapon wielding guy. They lost the Wolf Guard pack leader to the Marshal. Basically, we're leaving off on this being a contested close combat round, but I think that my boys probably would have pulled out a few more notch points onto their weapons. The Grey Hunters up here, I would have had them probably come down and join in the fight, or if possible, stand up there and put down some more suppressor fire to the Terminators or whoever's out of combat. I'm gonna have to say the MVP award goes to the Whirlwind for the most hated pieces of Space Marine armament by Space Marine players. I really think that that's a mistake because, as you have seen here, it's done its fair share of damage, if not more. Basically, I don't know, I guess it's a wolf victory because I drew first blood, and neither one of us, well, John was holding the objective, and I moved away from mine because I didn't want to get blowed up by it. But all in all, I'd say it was a good game, a good match, pretty evenly on both sides. So I guess we'll just have to stay tuned for the rematch for round number 2, I guess. So for John and myself, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hope this helps you in some kind of way, and if nothing else, like I said, most of this stuff hopefully will be painted up to a better tabletop video footage quality. And yeah, that's gonna do it. John, you got anything you want to add, bro?
Nope, that's it. If I wasn't feeling like I'm about to die death warmed over, we would have finished this game, and who knows how it would have ended. But right now, I have a feeling those Blood Claws were going to tear my little initiate squad up there. The Terminators would have held their own, but once those Grey Hunters got in, I have a feeling I would have lost them too. So it's been a good game, but we got to call it due to me not being able to concentrate and feeling like I'm going to die.
Alrighty, well, that looks like it's going to be it, so you guys have a good night.